weekend. He's like, what kind of business? I said, man, I had this powder, da da da. He goes, man, you won't believe this. My mom's neighbor was a former president of Kroger. I said, you're kidding me. So yeah, he's retired. His name is Paul. He's retired, but he helps small businesses get into Kroger. Do you mind? He asked me, do you mind if I send Paul your information? Yeah. So he sends it within an hour. I'm sitting on my couch. I get a phone call from a number I don't recognize. Usually I don't pick up, right? But for some reason I picked up this call, and it was Paul on the other line. He said, "Hey Mo, this is Paul Smith. I got your information from Jamie. Can you meet tomorrow at 390?" I'm like, 390s? I was like, what's 390? That's the store number. I had no idea. I just knew a location. It's like, oh, it's off State Bridge. You know, we both lived in Alpharetta, so it wasn't too far. So I went out there. I think I had a pod with me and my old packaging. So I go there. So I'm meeting with Paul, and Paul is looking at it. It's like, man, this thing has legs. He goes, I've been in the grocery business for 30 years. This is probably one of the biggest opportunity. But the name Amina, what does that mean? I was like, man, that's my mom's name. He goes, you know what? All right, that's what we're going with. So we went with Amina for a while. We got into Kroger. Obviously, we were still selling to TJ Maxx, Marshall, and Home Goods. And then, so Paul and I, we used to go into the stores, Kroger stores, and then we'll do sampling because nobody really knows what it was. So we do sampling so people can try it. So it came out with this drink. It was just water, the powders, squeeze some lemon and some honey so people can actually try it. So we'll go there every weekend, man. People are like, man, this is good, right? When you going to bottle it? I say, I'll get to it. So things were going great. And then COVID hit and everything kind of slowed down. I was like, man, I got to figure out something. So it's like, maybe it's time to make the drink because people are looking for something convenient. So I went on Google again. I picked up my laptop, Googled some bottling companies. I found one in Florida. And I called them up. Say, hey, I've got this idea for a drink. I have a recipe and I want to bottle it. So the lady's like, that's not how you do it, dude. You just don't bottle your own drink. There's some formulation involved, some testing. I had no clue. So it's like you have to come out with a production manual, you know, for big batches. So again, I picked up my laptop, found this company called Flavor Man in Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky. Called them up, told them my idea. They're like, you know what? Can you send us samples of what you make and the recipe? So I sent it to them, and I was like, all right, we can help with the formulation. So ended up signing a contract with them. So we went through the whole formulation process. It took about 6 months or so. Now I've got this thing. Now I have to bottle it. So Paul ended up hooking me up with a company in San Francisco, just outside San Francisco, right? So at that time, Paul was helping this company sell, I think it was a margarita mix, right? So they decided, because I have to do small batches to start. So ended up connecting with Scott out there. So came out with the drink. Initially it was in a plastic bottle. So I've got this thing, now I have to get distribution. And I reach back out to my former boss and mentor, Chris Milhous. At that time, well, Chris still owns the agency. Actually, they came out with the name God Goodness. So I reach out to him. I say, yeah, I've got this drink. I need to figure out how I'm going to distribute it. He goes, hey, come, why don't you swing by to the office on Wednesday? So I go there with my sample drinks. We're sitting there catching up. It's like, yeah, I've been following your story, you know, on social. I'm proud of you, this and that. So he cracks open one of the drinks. He cracks it open. He's drinking it, and he slides his chair to his laptop, opens it up. He said, come here. So I go there, you know, we're sitting there talking. He goes, this is the guys you need. I was like, who's that? He goes, LA Libation. And you won't believe this, Mo. My neighbor is part of the group. He may be able to help you distribute your drink. They help Body Armor, Zico Coconut Water. They're based out of LA, but Tom is on vacation. But if you have a presentation or a video, I can send it to Tom, and maybe I can set up a meeting. That's what I can do. I can set up. I know I can get you a meeting. So I send the video. When I got back, I sent my presentation. I had a video. I sent it to Chris. Chris passes it on to Tom. So Tom gets back on vacation. Now, following week, I get a meeting with Tom. We met at Jake Christopher's in Sandy Springs to have breakfast. Took the samples. He loved it. He goes, we need to send samples out to LA. So we sent samples out to LA. They liked it, and they suggested a rebrand. I was like, you know what? I've heard that before. I had a few friends tell me that, it's a new product. Nobody really knows what it is. Maybe you need to rebrand to something more intuitive. So I reached back out to Chris Milhous with his agency Anthem. And Chris like, you know what? We can help you out. So that's how we end up with Gut Goodness. And here we are. Now we have our powder and then we have stick packs.